Why many C students end up more successful. Many young people do poorly in school for a number of reasons. Fortunately for them, things like report cards, GPAs, and SAT scores don't matter much in the real world. Students who achieve A's and other high marks in school tend to be rule followers. They understand what is being asked of them and deliver the desired product in the requested form, fashion and timeframe given to them. Students are both intelligent and compliant. There is little room for individuality or innovation when you allow educational institutions, academic curriculum, teachers and professors to dictate your behavior and thinking. Students who receive C grades are less afraid to fail and may be less averse to risk. Students who earn C's are not necessarily less intellectually capable, but all things being equal, they do not place such a high value on letter grades. C students are more likely to handle failure in a constructive way, dusting themselves off and trying again. By virtue of not always achieving remarkable letter grades, C students understand that anything less than an A is not a catastrophe but can become a learning opportunity. Some of the most prominent business leaders of recent times aren't people who performed particularly well in college. Their lackluster performance at the college level does not reflect an intellectual deficit but rather a shift in focus. For example, Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates were impressive enough academically to be admitted to Harvard, Larry Page to Stanford, and Jeff Bezos to Princeton, but none of them graduated. Why did they decide to drop out of college? The answer is simple: at some point in their academic careers, they realized that their success in life wasn't going to be predicated on a letter grade or a university degree but rather on the product of their efforts. Higher education ceased to be a means to an end. So these and many other successful entrepreneurs struck out on their own, to blaze their own trail. Companies such as Apple, Dell, Microsoft and Facebook were each established by individuals who dropped out of college. Many Fortune 500 companies, as well as SMEs, were created by people who didn't place high a value on a college degree. Other successful companies started by dropouts include Oracle, Uber, WhatsApp, Twitter, Whole Foods and WikiLeaks. Zuckerberg and Gates withdrew from university to pursue entrepreneurship. While they could have become successful following the rules, they understood that they would only win big if they wrote their own. This thinking represents the entrepreneurial mind and spirit. These and other highly successful individuals recognized that their ideas were fresh and innovative, so they chose to focus their time, money and energy on developing their business. We know now that there are many different types of intelligences and grades only measure a select few, and poorly at that. A GPA does not measure a person's emotional intelligence, it does not measure their leadership ability, it does not necessarily measure their ability to think outside of the box and solve problems. It does nothing to evaluate a person's ability to predict the needs of society or consumers. It does nothing to illuminate the ability of an individual to work with others and find middle ground in standoffs or conflicts. All of these things are vitally important to an individual's success in life and almost none of them are measured by grades. Grades, GPAs and standardized test scores largely measure one's ability to answer questions and regurgitate information and not much else. This is why our world isn't run by valedictorians and straight-A students. For every CEO of a major company that graduated with a 4.0 GPA, there are scores more who did not. What matters in business, and in life, is pursuing goals with a sense of purpose. Having ambition and directing that ambition toward a problem. If a person is not ambitious about doing well in school, that person will not do well in school. School is hard and takes a lot of time and effort. However, that doesn't mean that person isn't ambitious and full of talent. We all choose to apply ourselves differently and to different things, and in an ideal world that is how we would be measured. Not by the letters on a piece of paper from our time in school,